All right, hey everyone, it's Kirk here at Option Alpha. So in this video, I want to show you the new monthly Iron Condor 3K portfolio bot template. I just released a new version into the community. Been meaning to do this for a long time, but I wanted to get a video done with it as well, just to kind of show you what's different and some of the changes that we made. Basically, it streamlined a lot of things inside the bot template. So I want to go over those with you, also show you how the bot's been performing since we transitioned to the new TradeStation account that we had after we moved it from the TD Ameritrade account since TD wasn't supported anymore, and basically what it's been doing over the last year. So if you go into the community, you'll see the new monthly Iron Condor bot template in there. This is actually the old one right now that we're looking at because the new one's going to be up there for you guys, but I just kept this page up here so you could see what the old scanner looked like. So inside of the old scanner, and this was older because we had just a lot of new stuff that's been released, so I just kind of wanted to update it with a lot of new stuff that we have. But inside of the old scanner, there was lots and lots of decisions to get to an open position action. And at that time, when we were doing it, you had to specify your long put, your long strike, your expiration, etc. You had to specify everything. So what ended up happening is, and you could still do it this way too if you wanted to, but it was basically like we're targeting an exact Iron Condor setup that we wanted. So we weren't flexible for strikes. We weren't a little bit flexible for expiration. No, we said we wanted this the whole time. And that generally has performed well. So we expect it should, continue to do that. But there was a lot of decisions to kind of get to that point. And so now what this also meant that inside this older template, you had 13 different inputs that you had to set. So you had to, again, set your short call strike. You had to set your long strike, your short put strike, your everything. And this meant there's just a lot of friction, right? So, and I get that. And so what we did inside the new template is we kind of streamlined everything using trade ideas. So let me go over the new template. So this is the bot that I've been running. Again, this is live real money trades that I've been making. It's been running for a little over a year. So since I transitioned it, I think the first trade that it made was around September 5th. Since I moved it from TD to TradeStation, now I've just traded TradeStation since. It's been doing pretty well. It goes through periods where it doesn't find trades, which is fine, or has low volatility and it doesn't trade, which is fine. So that's what I wanted to do. But generally speaking, it's been doing actually pretty decent for a small 3K portfolio that I'm trading for this particular bot template. Now, if I go over to the actual settings, this is where some of the things are a little bit different. And again, you feel free to adjust your bot template however you want, make changes to fit your trading style. This is just what I do. I'm not telling you to do this, so you do whatever you want. The first thing that we do is we included the actual bot symbols now. So this is really kind of key here because instead of actually typing in every single symbol here, we just can connect this particular bot symbols list to our watch list. Now, I have a watch list of uncorrelated ETFs. And so what I do is I type in a list of uncorrelated ETFs, and then I can use that list inside of any other bots that I want. And anytime I make a change to that list, it'll flow through to the rest of the bots. So in this case, I don't do anything inside this list other than just rank them in the top symbol, the 10 symbols that I want to see. If you wanted to filter them or sort them by IV rank, you certainly could do that. You could sort them by IV rank if you wanted to. But again, I don't do any of that because I generally want to get into all of these positions if I can. And so I just include that into my bot symbols. So now my bot symbols are updated every single day, and then that flows through into the actual scanner. So if you look at the scanner automation here, it's been reduced down significantly. It only has 4 inputs. All of those inputs I moved to bot input level, which is here, which means that basically you can control the whole bot from these kind of category selections here, your expiration, your position sizing, entry pricing, and your exit options. But if you actually look at the scanner is completely different, much more simplified. All we're doing here is we're looping through bot symbols. So the bot symbols that we have, we're looping through here. And we're opening a Iron Condor trade idea. Now, we're not telling it to just open any trade idea that we want. That's the best trade idea of all the strategy types. In this case, what we're doing is we're saying, no, we want you to open an Iron Condor. That's the premise of the bot strategy and what we're trying to do. So we're telling it, open an Iron Condor for whatever symbol you're looking at the expiration that we targeted. And then what I did leave optional here for trade ideas to kind of figure out for me is the long strikes, the short strikes, right? I don't really care as long as it meets my criteria for trade entry. So we'll go through that here in a second. But again, I left those all optional. You don't have to leave them optional. You can set them if you want to. If you wanted to target a 30 delta or 20 delta or whatever you want, you can do that. I don't. I just leave it as totally optional. Then I do set my position sizing, my entry pricing, and my exit options. And you can set tags if you want to also. But what's really cool about using the trade ID action now versus the way that we had it before in the old template was that you had to basically use different decisions for each of these different things that you wanted to check before you got to an open position action. So you could still do that, and you very well could do that inside of other bot templates that you run, but using the trade idea action, you can now just check these boxes and kind of go through like almost like a shopping list of like, yes, I want this, no, I don't want this, yes, I want this, and make trade ideas, kind of find trades that meet your criteria that you approve of, right? So the bot has enough capital, that's an easy check. Bot has less than one position with this symbol. That's a really important one because I don't want to double up in this portfolio. It's a small portfolio, like model portfolio that we're running, so it means one position per ticker at a time. I don't want to get 5 SPY positions or 5 XSP positions. I just want one. So I just check this box that bot has less than one position open with the symbol. As we've done before, we have a low-level IV rank filtering in here. So anytime that there's really, really low IV rank for a particular symbol, we're just going to forego trading in that symbol right now. That means that sometimes it might not trade, and that's okay. We don't want to do any super, super low IV rank in there. We're also filtering for bid-ask spreads less than 40 cents. That's a pretty wide filter, but it's just basically filtering out any erroneous or crazy pricing that might happen as we try to enter a position. So inside of the way that I do it, I still run it at a 4-cent mid price, like allowing for 4 cents to slippage. So it'll work pricing from the mid price. So it'll still kind of handle that, but again, we just want to get any erroneous bid-ask spreads out of there. I do also check for the next ex-dividend date and make sure that the position expires before the next ex-dividend date. A lot of people, if you trade iron condors, sometimes you run into these where you're trading through an ex-dividend date where the ETF is paying a dividend, and that can sometimes cause early assignments. They're hard to track, they're hard to manage, they just become a hassle. So again, what I do here is I make sure that I kind of filter all those out. I say I don't want to make a trade if it's trading through ex-dividend. That does mean that in some cases for some tickers, you won't make a trade for that particular month, or you might have to wait a week or two to make a trade, but I would rather do that just for sanity's sake and not having to manage any assignments. And then in here, I do some other filters, like alpha has to be greater than 5%, expected value per contract greater than 5. The risk to reward ratio, or the reward to risk ratio, has to be greater than 50%, which is higher than it needs to be for a probability of profit greater than 70%. So I'm still targeting high probability trades, but I want to make sure that I'm capturing enough premium to kind of cover that potential risk. Now you can also do this where you check this box, the risk reward is favorable for the probability of max profit. Also, there's just another added check if you want to. I don't think I need to because I made this one pretty high, so it should cover it for that position. But there's a lot of different checks that you can put in here. Don't go crazy with this, I don't think. Like if you do too many, then it's kind of death by 1,000 cuts and you filter out every potential opportunity. But you just want to do the ones that are really important to you to get into good trades. And then what I do down here below is I do max loss per contract less than $300. So this is, again, another way to capitalize on just making sure that position sizing is really small. That's because this is a small portfolio sample that we're running. And so I don't want to trade positions that are $500 or $1,000 of risk. I want to make sure the max loss per contract is less than $300. You can move this down if you want to. That seems to be a good range for me to get into a lot of positions. And then finally, we rank all of our ideas by alpha. So if we do have, let's say, 10 ideas left over, then we're going to take the best alpha, the best expected value per unit of risk, and we're going to take those trades. So once we do that, then that's all in here. So again, much simplified Iron Condor scanner in here. You're just looping through some symbols, trying to find a trade idea, and then adding that to your portfolio. So that makes it really easy. The monitor automation has stayed pretty much the same. I haven't made any changes here, just checking to see if the position expires in 3 days, if the challenge switch is turned on or not, or if the position is actually challenged. It's actually a really easy one to add to your portfolio if you want to. Very simple one, so haven't made any changes to that. But otherwise, everything else has been put here at the bot level for inputs. So this is where you would change your entry pricing or your profit targets and exit options. I'm still sticking with profit targets at 30% or expiring one day before. That seems to work out pretty good, has worked out pretty well. Haven't had too many assignments that I've had to deal with. Actually, I think it's been quite a long time since I've had an assignment that I've had to deal with. So those have seemed to work out pretty well for managing positions. So that'll be inside the new template. So like I said, that new template's available for you. You can check it out inside the community. If you have any questions, please let me know. As always, until next time, happy trading.